Hello, welcome back. The heavenly race. Last 2 Sundays, we started discussing about the 7 deadly sins, and the seven deadly sins. Put it in the other way: the 7 capital sins. They are called deadly or capital sins because committing each and every one of these 7 sins triggers or gives birth to another sin and further immoral behavior. So that is why they are called the deadly or the capital sins. We have discussed in the previous 2 episodes, we have discussed about pride, and we have discussed about envy. So today we are on number 3, which is the wrath. The wrath. So today, what are we talking about? The wrath. Remember, we are still on the heavenly race, and we are all looking into those things that we will endeavor to take away from our lives in order for us to make heaven. So today, like I said, we are going to discuss the number 3, the wrath. What is wrath? Wrath is simply an uncontrolled anger. That is wrath. Uncontrolled feelings of hatred or anger. Wrath can also be described as a rage. You know, when you are raging, your whole body is shaking, your heart is sore. That is called wrath. Wrath often reveals itself with the wish to seek vengeance. You see why it is a deadly sin? Because it triggers another. It triggers another sin. It triggers another unholy behavior. Wrath gives birth to violence. Because when you seek vengeance, sometimes you might seek it in a very violent way, or you can even injure the person. You can be bothered because you are fueled with wrath, with rage. So today, we are going to go in details a little bit about this spirit of wrath. It is, like I said, is an unresolved anger. I know what unresolved anger is. It goes on and on, that each time you see that person, your heart burns, your body is on fire, you are filled with hatred. All you want is how to eliminate this person. All you want is how you will stop seeing this person. And that is rage. Wrath is a very unholy anger. It is a deadly sin. So if you find yourself experiencing that kind of feeling in your life, seek for help. It is a deadly sin, and no one who dies with that spirit of wrath will ever make heaven. Let us now look into the root causes of anger. Yeah, but I won't be using the word wrath because wrath is more deadlier than anger. I'm not saying they're almost the same thing, but why I want to differentiate it is that anger, you can be angry. Yeah, you can be angry, but it will not lead you to sin. But when your anger builds up, swells up, and gives rise to seeking vengeance, or start kind of thinking about how you will take revenge or how you're going to hurt that person, it is now no longer called anger, it is now wrath. Yeah? So most people assume that they have been hurt so much so that they cannot forgive. When that past hurts cannot go away, it is then that you start seeking, how can I get even? How can I pay this person back in his or her own coin? It has caused a lot of troubles in our communities, in our societies, unfortunately, even among Christians. Wrath is very deadly. So today, let us simply look into some of those things that lead us to have such bitterness in our hearts that we cannot let go. Number one is the pain of rejection. Pain of rejection is one of the strongest factors in a person's life, especially in childhood. When you observe that you have been rejected as a child, some of us grow up with that pain, with that hurt, with that hurtful feeling that we cannot let go. Some even say in a broken marriages where the child feels that maybe one of the parents abandoned and leave, and then it depends on what the other parents fill this child's head with. The child will now grow up with that spirit of unforgiveness, not to forgive the other parent. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. The pain of rejection and the torment of fears can cause a child to develop deep bitterness toward the one who is responsible for his pain. When parents, like I said, when parents get divorced, their children typically experience the pain of rejection. But now I am telling you, mothers out there, you parents out there, to avoid bringing your children in the center of your misunderstanding. Husband and wife can agree that they can no longer, that the center can no longer hold. But please, I beg of you, do not bring your children into it, because your children has no part to play. Your children, they did not ask both of you to bring them into the world. So do not bring your children into it. I beg you, for the sake of those children, that you should still have a common ground to meet in your parenting of these children. And then you can take your misunderstanding elsewhere. You mother out there, I beg you in the name of God, do not take out or your anger management of your partner upon your child. Do not take it to your child. Do not sell bees or booze or eggs to your child in the name of trying to rubbish your partner. Please, I beg you, do not spoil that child's heart by telling the child stories. Allow the child to discover things herself. And do not block the partner from having access to the child, because it is you that will block access, and then you will go back and say that the child was abandoned, and then the child will grow up with such a pain in her heart that she has been rejected. And you, the men, I beg you as well, please, if there is anything going on, do not condemn your wife as a result of your disagreement. So it is very painful when I see children of God, or when I see parents trying to bring their children into marital squabbles as a result of their disagreement. Please do not do that anymore, because all you are sowing in the heart of that child is bitterness that can never go away. The second one is the favoritism. Favoritism. When a child experiences rejection or that the other child is being favored, he grows up creating enmity with his or her sibling. When a parent favors one child or over another, they are not only damaging the self-worth of that child who is less appreciated, but they are encouraging war. They are encouraging war among the siblings. Please do not do that, because that is what causes wrath. Yeah? So like I said, today we are treating wrath as one of the deadly sins. Yeah? Another one is the anguish of self-accusation. It creates or gives birth to wrath. A person's reputation has great worth. Like Solomon says, a good name is rather to be chosen. Good name is greater than riches. So I beg of you, do not rubbish the image of one another in order to gain affluence. Because do not, false accusation is like when you, on the top of the mountain, when you took a fowl on the top of the mountain and plug all the feathers and throw away, you cannot go back to pick all the feathers. It can never be picked up. And then that person grows up with anger and wrath in his or her heart. If you want to make heaven in this race, I'm going to conclude by looking into what the Bible wants us to do about this deadly sin called the wrath. Yeah? The Bible in the book of Ephesians chapter 4, verse 31 to 32 said, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be you kind to one another. Be tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. So if you are a child of God, or if you are out there hearing my voice, ensure that wrath is not in your life. Like I said, these are the 7 deadly sins, capital sin. They are capital in that while you're committing one of them will lead you to commit another. So like pride, we discussed pride last week, and we discussed envy. Today we're discussing wrath. It is deadly. When you are filled with rage, all it leads you to is to kill. You are seeking revenge. That is why it is deadly. So I beg you today in the name of God to desist from such inferences. The word of God is in the book of James, it says, resist the devil and the devil will run away from you. He will flee from you. The Bible made us to understand that you should not allow your anger. You should not allow sun to set on your anger. When you are offended, go to your brother, go to your sister and say, sister, you offend me. Do not sleep on it. Do not dwell on it. Do not allow it to last. Because the more you allow it to linger, the more it is leading you and directing you to not in your heart what you are not supposed to do. So to try to avoid all these capital sins in our life, so that at the end of this our militants, our journey, we are church militants. We are all on the race, so that at the end of our race on this earth, we'll be able to make heaven, where we will see our Father face to face. Nothing else matters. It's God that matters. It's not your riches. It's not your wealth. It's not your properties. Your property cannot take you to heaven. Your wealth cannot take you to heaven. Your riches cannot take you to heaven. And our life here on earth is temporal. We have the perpetual home, the eternal home in heaven. And may God help us as we continue to sojourn on this race. God bless you all, and I will see you again next week. Thank you, and keep smiling. Bye.